Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A first down throw for Mills. Got a man, complete to Cedric Wilson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, Mills. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big pickup of 38. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Here we go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
11.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
McPherson's kick is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hines, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Hines, it'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
That's caught by Howard, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. A quick throw now complete to Ross. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down.
This defense for the Bengals, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Working out of the gun, Mills. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow, he's going to let it go again. That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase,
his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40.
Looking to throw is Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is incomplete.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. In motion left is Wilson. On 2nd and 10, Mills.
Oh, it's tipped, but he still makes the adjustment. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Cooks will come in motion right. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. From the 44, Mills throws the out route, and he's got it complete to Hines. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And the tight end goes in motion left. On 3rd down, Hines. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
17-0 our score after 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Right back to him on 1st down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they send a man in motion right. Hines. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. The slot man in motion right. On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
With the way things have gone in this game, I think they've got to consider going for it here. I realize it's just the 2nd quarter, so they're not panicking, but they need something to give them positive momentum to get things going.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
11.
Play action. It's Burrow.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
12.
Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete.
The Bengals at 500 hit 6-6. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And they were able to tough it out last week, a close one-score game. And those are the kind of wins that pull you together as a team because everyone gains confidence and they feel like they can continue to get better.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Malik Collins. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
11 empty.
Back to throw. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
That's returnable now for Smith.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Now they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
On 2nd down, right back to Hines.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Returnable here from the 38. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
11, Thomas.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Now Burrow on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go, here we go.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
11.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll go down at the 28. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11. 11, mighty.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He was brought down by Malik Collins.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Mills throw here going to be caught by Wilson. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. In motion left is Wilson. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Mills now from the 50. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. In motion right is Wilson. To throw again on 2nd down. Mills. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 38-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. In motion left is Wilson. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do some. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles. But that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters. But in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already, they need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Mills now on second down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
Here we go.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
Here we go, here we go. 11, Tommy.
Mixing up the middle. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
42 yards on the ground for him so far.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
Here's 2nd and 9.
11, MT, hey. 11, MT, stop.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Here we go,
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
12, 12. Stop.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man here. It's Bryant.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
Hey, can.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Harrison Bryant, a 12-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, It turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And they'll get this down to the 10. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
And they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And my goodness, another interception. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But and now here is another interception. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change.
Touchdown! Harrison Bryant with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing on second and long. Mills. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Mills now. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
To throw on second and 10. Mills. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Here's Mills.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on second and 13.
Mills to throw it.
Caught. It's Wilson. Touchdown, Houston. Cedric Wilson, 34 yards.
And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Christian Harris. With such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
Jackson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. So they brought the extra bulk in. 1 yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
So that challenge, a successful one. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Here's Pierce.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there.
They'll run for it with Pierce.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Dameon Pierce, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Back to Mixon on second down.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go, here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
11 mighty.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. 11 mighty. 11 MT.
On 2nd and 9. Burrow. Bryant has it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
11.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Again to Bryant, and again it's caught. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get your reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
12. 11 MPs, hey. 12.
First down, here's Burrow. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Slot man moves right.
First down, Mills.
He'll check this down to Hines. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up second down.
Now Mills.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw, Mills.
And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Mills, fourth down, gotta have it.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Mills to the air again.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop over 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now Mills on fourth down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
11 MT, 11 MT. 11 Thomas. 11, 11, 11.
That one looks like he'll throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
I'm one, ready?
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
That's caught at the 2. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line, and the try for 2 unsuccessful. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. They'll send the tight end in motion left.
Mills now looks to throw on first down.
That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
11 mighty, 11 MT, 11 MT.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
12, 12, 12.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles. But that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
One last shot from Mills.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one in the win column now for the
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bring Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoter. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad days. TGOD, baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We going honest, we going insane. Pouring this. Dead homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother. We the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out.